A warm welcome to you anywhere around the world. This is Nationwide on the NTA. I'm Ayodeji Makindi. President Bola Tinubu is demonstrating unwavering commitment to road infrastructure development, which is evident in the inauguration of the Cross River State section of the 750-kilometer Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway. President Tinubu, represented by the governor of Cross River State, Senator Basi Otu, assures the people of speedy completion of the project, which he believes will enhance inter- and intra-regional connectivity, thereby boosting trade and commerce. Justina Atam reports.
Efficient road infrastructure is crucial to stimulating economic growth, improve access to essential services and quality of life. Hence, the reason President Bola Tinubu administration is investing massively in road infrastructure to fast-track development. Flagging off the 65-kilometer three-lane dual carriageway, a component of the 750-kilometer Lagos-Calabar Highway, Section 3A and 3B in Calabar. President Tinubu, represented, says the project will transform the socio-economic fortunes of Cross River State, urging residents to take advantage of the economic opportunity that the project offers.
With the recent groundbreaking ceremony of the special agro-industrial proceeding zone in the state, the products from this zone will have seamless evacuation corridors to reach the teeming consumers.
Minister of Works, David Umahi, sues for cooperation with the contractors to facilitate speedy completion of the project. The minister applauds Governor Tu's efforts towards the commencement of the Calabar axis of the project.
This project is quite innovative. It's only somebody like President Bola Tinubu that can do something like this. It's only a man like this that had this dream 27 years back, and it's God that giveth him the wisdom to dream.
Cross Riverians respond positively to infrastructural development as a vital means to enhancing our quality of life.
65 kilometers of the Calabar axis of the road will be constructed with reinforced concrete pavements to ensure durability. In Calabar, Justina Etam, NTA News.
In a major stride towards enhancing regional connectivity and economic growth, Jigawa State's Governor, Umar Namadi, has officially launched the construction of a 29-kilometer road linking Dolinkwana, Garin Gabas and Hadejia. Muhammad Musa Askira reports that the 7.8 billion naira project is set to transform transportation and trade in the area.
The 29-kilometer road project to be executed with an asphaltic concrete overlay is designed to improve connectivity and enhance the economic livelihoods of farming communities in the region. Governor Namadi explained that the road will enable farmers to transport their produce more efficiently from farmlands to markets and homes, ultimately driving development across benefiting communities. This project is just one of the 47 road construction planned across Jigawa State, totaling 800 kilometers and awarded at a cumulative cost of over 300 billion naira under the current fiscal year. The team later proceeded to Brunei for a government citizens engagement forum. There, Governor Namadi and members of his cabinet interacted directly with the people, assessing government performance and gathering first-hand feedback on the needs and priorities of the local communities. Governor Namadi, while addressing the gathering, noted that citizens across the state have testified to the visible improvements under the current administration. He assured Nigerians that with the present leadership of the All Progressives Congress at both federal and the state levels, the country is on the right path and that the people will not regret the choice of leadership.
Based on our campaign promises, where we have told the people that we will still come back to them to ask them whether what we have promised them we are delivering, and whether there is any other things we are not doing, so that they can remind us so that we can continue. That's exactly the essence of this program. And also to get in touch with the people, come closer to them.
Governor Namadi emphasized that these town hall-style engagements will continue across remaining local government areas, ensuring that government remains people-centered and development-driven. From Dutse, Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
In an era of technological advancement globally, communication stakeholders are advocating improved media literacy to curb spread of fake news. Speaker, House of Representatives Tajuddin Abbas and Information Minister Mohammed Idris were among advocates who spoke at the second National Spokesperson Summit by the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations in Abuja. The reports.
Something that we must find a way of addressing.
These experts in the communication industry from the past to the present converged on Abuja for the second edition of National Spokesperson Summit. The mandate of this session is strengthening integrity and the evolving roles of spokespersons in leadership communication. Special guest of honor, Speaker Tajuddin Abbas, notes that in an era when information spreads faster than wildfire, certified spokespersons must be engaged in information management. On his part, Information Minister Mohammed Idris espoused this, highlighting the cadre system of public relations and civil service.
In this challenging information landscape, the role of spokespersons has evolved from being mere mouthpieces to becoming custodians of public trust. Our commitment to inclusivity, accountability, and transparency is essential to counter false narratives and build a reservoir of public trust.
It is imperative for the media to be ever more present as it equips individuals with the tools to decipher, analyze, and evaluate messages conveyed through various media channels, enabling the latitude to make informed decisions and engage with media content responsibly.
After the presidential assent to establish the first University of Public Relations, Chairman of the occasion, Olusegun Oshoba, bears his experience on roles of spokespersons. Just as President, Nigerian Institute of Public Relations Ike Neliaku reeled out attempts to stamp out quackery.
Job of a spokesperson: engage the people, sell your product, sell your principle in a way that you can convince the entire audience.
The spokesperson shapes public perception and ensures the timely delivery of the right messages to the appropriate audiences based on the peculiarities of his environment.
Speaker Tajuddin Abbas was conferred with the fellowship of the Institute. As this summit charts newer pathways for mentorship and leadership, there is a renewed commitment from NIPR and strategic partners to uphold standards of public relations to drive national development. In Abuja. In the meantime, Speaker of the House of Representatives Tajuddin Abbas urges Nigerians to continue to support President Bola Tinubu, emphasizing that the president means well for the country. This was while distributing empowerment items to residents of Zaria, an initiative it says aligns with President Tinubu's renewed hope agenda. Mohammed Umar Ajingi reports.
It was a day of smiles in Zaria as the residents gathered to witness the distribution of cars, tricycles as well as motorcycles to support the people. The man behind the gesture, the Speaker of the House of Representatives Abbas Tajuddin, says the initiative is part of his commitment to empower people at the grassroots level, which is in line with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's renewed hope agenda.
I requested that the people of Zaria, whenever they are praying for me, in whatever way, they should also include our president, whose benevolence, permission, and support made the little dividend of democracy we are bringing to Kaduna State, to Northwest, to Nigeria as a whole, to be possible.
He is a blessing to all of us. Since his emergence as the Right Honorable Speaker, he has brought a lot of achievements here in Kaduna, supporting President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I can assure you, with what we are seeing here today, APC will continue to dominate Kaduna State.
For the beneficiaries, the intervention came at the right time to support their businesses, households, and organizations. The stakeholders here said the initiative is a clear example of what true representative can offer to the people, appreciating the Speaker of the House of Representatives as well as President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. In Kaduna, I am Muhammad Marajingi, NTA News.
The reality of climate change is evident in Yobe State, where environmental challenges like flood and erosion are becoming increasingly severe annually. To combat these challenges and improve the livelihoods of residents, the state, in collaboration with the World Bank's assisted project Agroclimatic Resilience in Semi-Arid Akrisol, is embarking on a comprehensive flood and gully erosion control project in Boniyadi and Damaturu local government areas. Yunusa Suleiman reports.
Buniyadi, a resettled community in Yobe State, faces numerous environmental challenges, notably flood and gully erosion, which affect residents annually. The state government, in collaboration with the World Bank's assisted project, the Akrisol, has taken notice of this issue and held a groundbreaking ceremony for a control project aimed at mitigating the destructive consequences of these climate change-induced environmental challenges.
In fulfillment of our campaign promises to the people, the government will find a lasting solution to the problem of flood and erosion in this community. The state government is injecting its resources into the construction of this project, not only to mitigate flood and erosion, but also to optimize the water harvested from the floods to boost irrigation, agriculture for food security and economic prosperity.
I want to urge the community members to own the investment, to sustain the investment, to the benefit of everyone.
In a bid to prevent flooding and ensure efficient water flow in Damaturu, excavation and expansion work on the main drainage system across the state capital is being intensified.
Like in the case of Damaturu, it is evident that at the end of the end point of the project are two depressions, 1 and 2, and we are going to deepen these two depressions so that actually the water will be contained, not only being contained, but to be harnessed or utilized for irrigation purposes.
The project serves as a model for community-based flood and erosion control initiatives, demonstrating the effectiveness of collaborative efforts in building resilient communities amid climate change. In Damaturu, Yunusa Suleiman, NTA News.
And now let's connect with Yunusa, who is in Damaturu, to shed more light on efforts at tackling flood and gully erosion. Over to you, Yunusa.
Thank you. For many years, people of Damaturu, the Yobe State capital, and Gujuba local government area have been battling with these two environmental challenges, that is gully erosion and flood. The coming of these projects, as approved by World Bank in collaboration with Yobe State government through the Agroclimatic Resilience in Semi-Arid Landscapes, Akrisol, it is a big sigh of relief for all residents of these two communities. As you can see behind me is one of the sections of flood control project in Damaturu. Heavy duty equipment have been deployed for excavation and expansion of this canal, and we were told that at the end of this expansion, 2 dams will be constructed, and these dams will be constructed according to international standards in order to avoid any incidences in the future. And here is irrigation hub in Damaturu, the Yobe State capital. So constructing dams and of course harvesting water will be a very good booster for irrigation farmers, because they will now have the opportunity to water their plants all year round. And of course in Buniyadi too, we were told that dams will be constructed at the end of the flood control project site, where irrigation farmers are expected to intensify irrigation farming during dry season. So I had the opportunity before now to talk to some of the residents, which they told me that it is a welcome development and a right step in the right direction, because considering the fact the economic importance of this expansion of canal and gully erosion control in Buniyadi.
Thanks so much, Yunusa, for that update, and we expect Things should be done appropriately to prevent further damages. Back here, let's tell you that Deputy President of the Senate, Barrow Jibrin, says President Tinubu has in the last 23 months of his administration left no one in doubt of his commitments to laying a solid foundation for the prosperity of the country. In a statement, Senator Barrow, while urging citizens to support the president in his quest to address challenges facing the country, cited some of the milestone achievements such as transforming the economy, improving security and developing infrastructure across the country for the benefit of all. He expressed optimism that the newly established regional development commissions, the special agro-processing zones, the Students' Loan Fund, payment of forex backlog and construction of highways including the Abuja, Kaduna and Kano are all visible pro-masses initiatives meant to take the country to enviable heights. The heads of state and government of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, will meet on Tuesday, 22nd April 2025 in Accra, Ghana, to officially launch the activities planned as part of the celebration of the 50th anniversary of the sub-regional institution. Founded on 28th of May 1975 in Lagos, Nigeria, ECOWAS is one of the 4 regional economic communities in Africa with numerous achievements and programs to its credit, facilitating regional integration and the development of the population of its member states. The Accra celebrations will be featuring a series of colorful events, including the presentation of the ECOWAS Golden Jubilee logo and theme, as well as artistic and cultural performances recounting the history of ECOWAS from its creation in Lagos by the founding fathers through its various reforms to its successes and major achievements in member states. And now it's time to connect with Hingino in our Lagos Network Center for the next set of reports on Nationwide.
Thank you, Ayodeji, and welcome to Lagos. The Nigerian Army College of Logistics and Management, NACOM's main objective is to produce efficient logisticians and officers with requisite leadership skills capable of effectively discharging their duties in joint military operations using contemporary management concepts and techniques. Commandant of the college, Major General Wisdom Etuk, made the statement while inaugurating the Senior Leadership and Staff Officers Course 3 of 2025. Ime Udori's report is presented.
As Nigeria continues to face evolving security threats, making the environment volatile to operate, the military has continued to also strategize to emplace appropriate responses to meet these threats. Having adequate understanding of a joint operating environment will not only reduce the chances of total surprise, but enhance the successful conduct of military operations. The training for Senior Leadership and Staff Officers, Course 3 of 2025, is therefore to equip officers with the management skills necessary to excel in modern military environments. In a lecture titled The Making of an Effective Leader and Staff Officer for Joint Operating Environment, Commandant of the College, Major General Wisdom Etuk, says officers deployed at the operational level are expected to possess the requisite leadership capabilities to enhance their effectiveness in assigned responsibilities, highlighting leadership development, environmental awareness, decision-making, resilience, communication skills, discipline, sound judgment as some of the essential qualities.
Military leaders are responsible for setting a clear vision, making tough decisions, providing guidance and mentorship, teamwork, as well as ensuring the welfare and discipline of their subordinates. They must possess strong communication and interpersonal skills, strategic thinking abilities, and the capacity to lead in dynamic and high-pressure situations.
Participants for the Senior Leadership and Staff Officers course is made up of 90 officers with the rank of Major from various corps and services.
From scorching heat waves to devastating floods, Nigeria's weather is becoming increasingly unpredictable with their consequences. Awal Yusuf Jibo in this report explores how the changing weather pattern is disrupting lives across the country with a crucial question: is Nigeria prepared for the challenges ahead?
For years, Nigerians have relied on the rhythm of the seasons. Farmers planting when the rains arrive, traders preparing for dry spells, and families adjusting their daily lives around expected weather patterns. In recent years, however, that rhythm has been disrupted. This year, for example, the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, has warned of extreme weather conditions, unprecedented heat waves, prolonged droughts, and floods.
Early warning systems, backed by robust climate predictions, are essential to overcoming these challenges and ensuring safety.
They point to the fact that the world is going through a very serious period of warming.
In the rural north, for instance, farmers now struggle as rains arrive either too early or too late, leading to failed harvest and food shortages in some cases. In urban centers, the rising heat is becoming unbearable.
Most of the people are crying for the heating so much. So we they pray, make God help, make this heat less.
It has not been easy because everywhere is heat. Thank God for the few rains that fell some days ago that makes it a little bit easier.
For coastal communities in Lagos, residents have come to realize that rainfall, rising sea levels, and attendant flooding are events that can spiral into unprecedented hazards and disasters.
We must have to be very intentional about the cost of inaction, because the cost of inaction is huge.
With the series of disasters recorded in the past in Nigeria, families across the country are watching the sky with uncertainty and wondering if it would rain too much or not enough. If the intense heat being experienced would reduce or become more unbearable. The weather that was once predictable is now an unpredictable force that is shaping lives, economies of states, and the nation's future. The million-naira question remains: is Nigeria ready for what may or may not come? In Lagos, Awal Yusuf Jibo, NTA News.
And that's our contribution for Lagos. Nationwide will continue in Abuja with Ayo Deji after this break.
You're welcome back. Senate is taking steps to ensure ministries, departments and agencies of government improve on their compliance with regards to resolutions of the legislature for accountability and institutional integrity. A two-day workshop is underway in Abuja as the Senate Committee on Legislative Compliance rubs minds with stakeholders on the issue. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports.
Mostly, we have over 10,000 abandoned projects in the country, everybody knows, with trillions of naira being pumped halfway and no result. If you travel by road, you see the consequence of our roads because people are not complying with the law. If you go to the hospitals, you know the consequence of non-compliance because services are never delivered to Nigerians.
The workshop seeks to address identified gaps between legislations and executions, as non-compliance to legislations has over time led to inefficiency and failure to provide Nigerians with needed services. President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, in his opening address noted that it is abnormal in a democracy when public institutions ignore or select resolutions to implement.
While the resolution passed by the National Assembly sits dormant in the files of ministries unattended to, why is compliance not at default mode in our institutional culture?
The theme of the workshop is consolidating strategies for strengthening legislative compliance by identifying challenges, understanding the consequence, and developing solutions.
Laws are made to be implemented, but when laws are made and just kept in the drawer, it's a big challenge, and that is why we have big challenges in almost every sector of the economy. Things should be done right so that this country can move forward.
There's a department within the presidency that assesses all the ministries, and maybe we can provide them additional tools, additional resources, so that they can be responsible for that measure, along with the other measurements they're already taking.
Participants were positive on expected impact.
The takeaway here will be having robust understanding on how to interpret the laws that are guiding our conduct.
I want a sanction if there's no compliance. That will make everybody to sit up and do their job rightfully.
This is the second national workshop pushing for legislative compliance by MDAs. Lami Ali, NTA News.
The Minister of Defense, Mohammed Badaru Abubakar, has expressed Nigeria's commitment to work closely with the European Union on security. The minister stated this while receiving the Director, Peace Partnership of the European Union External Action Service in Brussels, Kasmin Durban, at Ship House in Abuja. The meeting provided the avenue for deliberations on critical security issues, with emphasis on improving cooperation on security to fight terrorism and banditry. Kasmin Durban was accompanied by the European Union Ambassador to Nigeria and ECOWAS, Ambassador Gauthier Mignot. As security continues to adopt kinetic and non-kinetic approaches to reducing the challenge of insecurity, the Center for Caring Empowerment and Peace Initiative has unveiled a book titled We Bore the Brunt, which stresses the importance of tolerance and peaceful coexistence. The reports. This 291 compendium titled We Bore the Brunt by Rebecca Daly captures the impact of violence against the people, especially women and children. It combines empirical, statistical and direct interaction with those affected.
Nobody is interested in reading anymore. How I wish the young will come back to reading as we used to do.
She combined that together with quantitative method. It will train students who want to combine the two in fieldwork.
The author, a victim of child and societal abuse at an early age, draws inspiration from her pains, including her male child that has been missing since the 2011 Jos crisis, to empower survivors of insurgency through vocational and motivational drives.
I was raped when I was small, and that did not deter me from being who I am today. Life is full of risks, challenges, and but there is hope.
The Center for Caring Empowerment and Peace Initiatives has documented millions of Nigerians and Cameroonians, majorly women and children, to regain livelihood after surviving insurgency. In Abuja, Ayodeji, Makinde, NTA. All right, the federal government is partnering with the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, to effectively enhance the implementation of regional partnership for democracy across West Africa. Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yusuf Tugar, gave assurance when he received in audience the UNDP representative, Nigeria, Ms. Elsie Atafwa in Abuja. Garbanat Allah reports.
United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, has provided the platform for African-led responses to challenges in the West African region, which is referred to as Regional Partnership for Democracy, RDP, a homegrown initiative. To this, Yusuf Tuga says it is not only timely, but crucial in supporting institutional frameworks, which aligns with Nigeria's national interest for sustainable outcomes in promoting democratic values as well as addressing challenges faced in the West African region.
For starters, democracy works on the assumption of some basic truths. And when truth itself is under threat and it becomes blurred and difficult to discern, then democracy itself is under threat. This makes it difficult for democracy to function. And when that happens, then the social contract between people and leaders comes under threat. So this is what we're trying to do in partnership.
We have country presence in 170 countries and territories in the world. We believe we have what it takes to bring in the experiences from other spaces.
They agreed there is need for uniformity and inclusivity in Africa's governance structure as a whole, which culminated from the agreement signed by both parties. In Abuja, Garba Muhammad Atala, NTA News.
The African Center for Leadership, Strategy and Democracy has continued its advocacy on the entrenching of best values of democracy in Nigeria through inclusivity, fairness, justice and the rule of law. This came to the fore during the center's policy dialogue on voters' turnout analysis and programming ahead of elections, with special concerns on exploring the nexus between democracy and development. The dialogue also places premium on voters' franchise and best democratic values with less or zero interference that will undermine the growth and stability of democracy in the country.
Challenges. Center LSD has designed its election work to promote credible, inclusive and peaceful elections around 4 pillars. And the pillars include creditability threshold of elections to ensure that elections meet international best practices.
What can we do from now to 2027 to address these issues?
I know that there are other things we need to address, which on the 29th, we will address some of them in another high-level meeting. Issues of how INEC officials are appointed.
We need to build on our democratic infrastructure, and architecture to ensure that our democracy is entrenched. One of the ways is by enfranchisement.
As said, the power of representative democracy resides with the people and highlights on the few election experiments that have taken place in the country from 1923 to date and emphasize on unhindered participation of the people. From Abuja, let's go over to the food basket of the nation, and Charles will take over from our Makudi Network Center.
I'm Charles Abba. Internally displaced persons in Agagwe and Naka, Gwe West local government area of Benue State, have received relief items to help curb outbreak of diseases in the camps. Iberian Solomon reports that the donation was carried out by the Benue State Rural Water Supply and Sanitation Agency in partnership with United Nations Children Emergency Funds, UNICEF.
Following the report of the outbreak of diarrhea and vomiting from the Agagbe and Naka IDP camps in Gwe West local government area of the state, the Benue State Rural Water Supply and Sanitation Agency, through the Water, Sanitation and Hygiene Emergency Technical Working Group, donated items to cushion the effect. The items include wash kits, hand washing stations and aqua taps. Delivering the items, focal person Wash Emergency Technical Group, Matthew Nyamve, advised the people to make judicious use of the items.
This is just to see how we can support them, help them in their situation so that it doesn't affect them so much. And I believe that the Benue State government is doing everything to ensure that they get back to their central home.
Some of the IDPs commended the donors for the gesture.
It's very difficult we getting clean water in this place. So we hope that they should provide a solution, a better way that they can synergize together to make way for the IDPs of Agagbe camp here in Gwe West local government to get clean water.
It's like we have been lost, but now since we have been found.
A similar intervention was extended to the IDPs in Anyin and Ugba local government area of the state. They also expressed their gratitude to the donors. They prayed that issues of insecurity will be addressed so they can return to their country homes. From Uba, Logo local government area of Benue State, Iverin Solomon, NTA News.
The Benue State government is exploring investment opportunities with investors and diplomats for the overall growth and development of the state. Governor Hassan Talia settled this at the opening ceremony of a two-day interactive investment session with heads of parastatals enabling in business, Environment Council, PEBEC. Elias Itiab has more.
Since inception, the present administration in the state has continued to prioritize meaningful engagement and partnerships for well-being and economic growth, including presidential initiatives. The strategic interactive session between the Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council, PEBEC, and heads of parastatals in the state is to unlock investment opportunities. Governor Hyacinth earlier at the flag-off of the interactive session noted that the state possesses the requisite requirements for economic prosperity owing to the availability of human and natural resources as well as the political will to drive the process.
Benue, we see this as a call to unlock the full value of our agricultural and mineral endowments and to position the state as a regional engine for industrial growth and rural transformation.
Director General PEBEC, Mrs. Zara Audu, acknowledged the efforts of the state government in promoting investments.
But at this stage, we understand that our work goes beyond passing policies, which is why we're going one step forward towards implementing all those policies and ensuring that local businesses start to feel the tangible benefits and the great work that PEBEC has been doing for the last 9 years.
Commissioner for Industry, Trade and Investment, Manasseh Alumo, and the Executive Secretary, Benue Investment Promotion Agency, John Paul Gwenkan, pledged to provide an enabling environment for investors to operate their businesses in the state. The interactive session has a theme, Unlocking Opportunities, Driving Investment for Economic Growth in Benue. In Makudi, Elias Etiaf, NTA News.
From Makudi, the news continues with Ayodeji in Abuja after this timeout.
Have you heard the news? The federal government of Nigeria, through its direct benefit transfer program, has started the disbursement of 75,000 naira per household in 3 installments of 25,000 naira. Each recipient must have a validated national identification number, NIN, to receive the payment on behalf of their household members. To benefit, your household must be in the National Social Register of Poor and Vulnerable Households in Nigeria. The federal government's direct benefit transfer program is helping to reduce the effect of suffering while promoting financial and economic inclusion for the poor and vulnerable population in Nigeria.
Ìjọba fún wa ní 75,000 NIN àti káàdì láti lọ gbà. Nígbà tí mo sì gbà, mo fi ṣe nǹkan tó dáa, mo ra oògùn nínú rẹ̀, mo ra oúnjẹ tí màá jẹ nínú rẹ̀, mo sì wọkọ̀ mi náà ń bẹ. A sì fi yòókù ṣe ọ̀rọ̀ ajé pé ká tó máa rí dé bá. A dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ìjọba wa.
I am the real Nigerian. Brought to you by the National Orientation Agency, NOA.
You're welcome back. Judicial officers and the employer of the Federal High Court of Nigeria are to proceed on their 2 weeks Easter vacation from Wednesday, April 16, 2025. The Easter holiday will last till Monday, April 28, 2025, while the judges are to formally resume work on Tuesday, April 29, 2025. A circular signed by the Chief Judge of the court, Justice John Soho, indicates 3 critical divisions, namely Abuja, Lagos and Port Harcourt, shall, however, be opened to attend to emergency cases of enforcement of fundamental rights, arrests or release of vessels, and matters that concern their national interests. The statement indicates that Justices Emeka Nwite and Musa Suleiman Liman will serve as vacation judges from Abuja Division, Justices Akintayo Aluko and Isaac Dikpeolu will hold forth for Lagos Division, while Justices Phoebe Ayua and Adamu Mohammed will be in Port Harcourt Division. In another development, the scheduled arraignment of one Miriam Emenike Ogochi before the Federal High Court Abuja has been stalled due to her absence from the day's court proceedings. She has been prosecuted by the police for allegedly parading herself as a medical doctor with a practicing license from the university with folio number 58357, knowing same is forged. Meanwhile, her name is reported to be absent from the register of the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria. Although she had been arraigned and had pleaded not guilty, the court observed that the matter could not go on in her absence since she was still in correctional custody where she was remanded.
The three different names she brought is not in existence in the medical portfolio.
Her colleagues in the hospital found our practice queer, and that started an investigation. And
the matter is adjourned to June 3 to enable her answer to the charges leveled against her. Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, says Nigerian Air Force is committed to improving the health of staff and Nigerians through effective health workforce and service delivery. He stated this in a message to the matriculation ceremony of Set 6 nursing students of the Nigerian Air Force College of Nursing Sciences in Kaduna.
And respect the provisions of the Nigerian Air Force College of Nursing Sciences.
This oath-taking marks the incorporation of these young men and women into the fold of the Health Training College of the Nigerian Air Force, which by extension will contribute to the larger workforce of the Nigerian health sector. Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Bala Abubakar, represented by the Chief Medical Services of the Nigerian Air Force, Air Vice Marshal Anthony Ekpert, says this aligns with the Force Command philosophy and President Tinubu's renewed hope agenda on improving health sector.
Whether you're a military personnel or not, the expectations are the same. You are being trained to become professionals who are trusted with lives. In that responsibility, there is no room for mediocrity. Our shared duty is to raise the standard of care across the board, from urban hospitals to rural clinics, from military facilities to public health centers.
As you embark on this new chapter of your academic journey, I urge you to seize every opportunity for growth and learning that comes your way.
Other speakers challenged the students to key into global medical standards through hard work and dedication.
These 120 nursing students are expected to undergo study for 2 years to add value not only to the Nigerian Air Force medical services, but also to the Nigerian healthcare delivery as a whole. From Kaduna, Suraj Abdullahi, NTA News.
The federal government is making efforts to rid the country of Almajiri and out-of-school children. This time, the National Commission for Almajiri and Out-of-School Children Education has signed an agreement with Civil Society Action Coalition on Education for All, which is known for its expertise in helping to drive the present administration's project of reaching the globally accepted educational standard. Executive Secretary of the Commission, Dr. Muhammad Sani Idris, believes that government cannot do it alone, and that is why the Commission is intensifying efforts to reach out to relevant bodies that can bring their experience to bear in fighting what it describes as unacceptable situation where millions of children are out of school.
You are not unaware of how Mr. President is always talking about the flight of these students. That God will not forgive us if we allow them to live the type of life they are living today. I want to assure Nigerians that in the next few years, we will not see Almajiri and out of school children roaming the streets of this country.
We'll also key into the agenda
of Mr. President to work together to ensure that the number of out-of-school children is drastically reduced.
And next on our lineup is sports updates with Gift George.
To the ITTF World Para Table Tennis, Faith Abazuwai and Balawa Aking Bisilu added 2 gold medals to Nigerian tally at the ITTF World Para Table Tennis features in Amman, Jordan, emerging as champions in the women's class 9 to 10 and men's class 4 to 5 singles event. Abiola Adeshope secured silver in the men's class 9, while Ishiwu Ogunkule and Kehinde Lawal also claimed silver in their events. Ahead of the 6th Africa Junior Swimming Championship scheduled for Egypt, the national camp has opened at the swimming pool of the National Stadium, Lagos. Some of the local-based swimmers are already putting finishing touches to their preparations under the watchful eye of Coach Yelo Yewe, while the foreign-based swimmers are training in the United Kingdom. The Africa Junior Swimming Championship is slated for Egypt from the 28th of April to the 4th of May 2025. To handball, Nigeria's under-18 and under-20 women's handball teams are training at Roe Park in Lagos in preparation of the IAHF Trophy Women's Zonal Phase taking place in Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire from April 20 to 24, 2025. The Nigerian under-20 girls are made up of players who finished second at the under-18 IAHF Women's Intercontinental Phase in Uzbekistan last year.
This team has an enormous task to do, and for us to meet up with that challenge and that record that has been set before us, we need to do more than enough to conquer that.
Training has been going well. Thank God for our coaches and the help of our president, always coming here to cheer us up and also support us and watch our training. So we are hoping to go there and qualify for the next phase.
To grassroots football, all is now set for the finals of the 6th JOF Under-13 Boys Football Tournament, scheduled for the University of Lagos Sports Complex on April 27. Organized by the Lagos Grassroots Soccer Coaches Association to discover future talent, 64 football academies featured at the championship.
We believe that if we could provide this kind of platform for them, maybe that will also support them. So that shows you the level of talent at that age that we have in Lagos State.
The finals will see Unit Boys FC take on Varsity Football Academy. Sports Update, Gifts George, NTA News.
And that's nationwide. I'd like to thank you for watching. I'm Ayo Deji Makinde. Bye-bye.